Boom.
We on. Good. Once again. Live show, baby. That's all we got.
Live studio audience.
Live studio audience. Thank y'all again for hanging out with us. Welcome to the third show.
Remind me about live studio audience.
I'm saying. Once again, we hanging out. Thank you for hanging out with us. My brother Shannon, my brother Smitty dealing with his live studio audience.
Whenever you watch Welcome Back Carter or the Jeffersons, bruh, where was it? Because they always said at the end, filmed in front of a live studio audience.
So
where were they?
There was always in the front. There was always behind the cameras.
Oh, come on, man.
And it's one of those things. But
That
that was great TV, though. I'll give it.
That was dude. Arnold Horshack and Washington.
Boom Boom Washington.
Man, come on.
What's the boom boom for?
What's up, Mr. Carter?
That was good stuff. Shannon's too young to remember that.
Too young.
Matter of fact, you know what? I can go back further than y'all. So,
oh God,
you talking about Welcome Back Carter?
Just because you're gonna go back to the Andy Griffin show doesn't really count.
I ain't talking about Andy Griffin, Mr. Opie Taylor.
I like Mr. Opie Taylor.
Hey.
For somebody who said I couldn't go back to, I'm not gonna go back to Andy Griffin. You ran off the characters real quick.
Shannon, what show was you gonna take, dog? Hogan's Heroes.
Oh, I love Hogan's Heroes.
No, Hogan. No, I didn't care.
How come they never got out? How come they never escaped?
Bro, why would you want to escape when you can just come and go as you please?
That's true too. That's true.
And they had the light.
They had the light.
They had the light.
Yeah.
What was the name of the show that came on right after Welcome Back Carter? It was the little cop show.
Adam 12.
Adam 12. Streets of San Francisco.
Chips.
No, it was a sitcom.
Chips.
Not Chips.
Oh, I mentioned this before. 10 Speed and Brown Shoe.
No, it wasn't 10 Speed and Brown Shoe.
Yeah, I didn't watch. Once Welcome Back Carter went off, man.
That was, bedtime.
Yeah, bedtime.
Yeah, and what made it so bad? It was the same time around All in the Family.
Really?
So that was a struggle.
I'm gonna go with.
We only had 5 channels. So.
Yeah, really. Exactly. And they piled everything on one channel.
Everything went off at 11 o'clock.
Here come the bars and the stripes, and now turned it off. Underrated, heartfelt, all-time white sitcom. I don't know if it was a sitcom or not. The Courtships of Eddie's Father.
Love that.
Bruh.
That was
deep.
That was heavy. That was a good show.
Barney Miller. That was the
name.
Yeah,
Barney Miller. Okay, hold on real quick. What was the spinoff from Barney Miller?
Maude.
No.
Soap.
No.
Dallas.
Cagney and Lacey.
No. It was another sitcom, a comedy.
Knight Rider.
Get your life together. Now you're just throwing out stuff.
Fish. Fish. Oh.
Yeah. Fish. Yeah.
Well, Barney Miller, Fish, Maude, Soap, all of those was together.
Soap. Mary Hartman. Where your life at?
But you know what? That brings up a good point with all these TV shows that we used to watch. Because now they're all being spotlighted for all the racism that they had in them.
Benson.
Love Benson.
Benson
was a look.
Racial.
Okay.
Yep. Benson and Different Strokes.
Yep.
Different Strokes was racist when it was out, and people still loved Arnold, so no one could do that.
Hey, no. Different Strokes was before its time. You got an old rich guy, you got 2 black kids, a white sister strung out on coke.
I'm sorry.
And a maid.
Hold on. If that wasn't slavery, you tell me what was.
I'm trying to tell you. That's what they brought the little Afro boys in, not knowing who the hell they were.
Brought them to the big house.
White girls in the private school, snorting cocaine.
Snorting cocaine.
Brought him to the that they should have put the opening to the Jeffersons there, moving on up. That
they missed that up.
They flip flop.
Know the whole thing.
They flip flopping. See, I should have been a producer in the 70s.
No.
Yeah, for real.
No, because all the shows would have been like the Jeffersons. Would have been a cross between the Jeffersons and What's Happening.
Oh, what? Come on, man. How can you be 19 years old getting your ass beat by your overweight mama? She shouldn't even catch you. And that's why Dee act the way she do now, because the old girl never beat her ass.
She got away with everything. That's what. So the message in that for everybody who's listening: whoop your kids.
Beat they ass. Well, because I know some Bible clippers out there. I know somewhere in this say spare the rod, blah blah blah, blah child.
Well,
hey, yeah, you better go ahead and let some thunder
on that. And I've really been thinking about that wholeheartedly over the past couple of weeks.
Whooping kids?
Yeah, I've been thinking about the way
other kids. Hey, other kids, Shannon.
Yeah, other kids too. Yeah, mine, other kids. I've really been thinking about the way we discipline. We as people have disciplined our children, and honestly, when you look back at it, what are we actually teaching them?
We're raising a nation of weenies. I've been saying that for the longest time.
True enough, but I think what are we teaching our kids when we pull out a belt and strike them?
That there's consequences to your actions.
Right.
Yeah, but here's the problem. You're missing the point about what we're teaching them. And then when they go and act out, that same violence that we give them, when they go act that out, we want to sit up and hold them accountable. But who's
absolutely, absolutely. You know, and that's the problem, because here's the underlying part. Here's the underlying part. You want to tell somebody how to and how not to raise their kids.
Mm-hmm.
But then when they go out into society and act a fool, now you want to judge them.
Yes.
You can't have it both ways. Come on, people. You can't have it both ways.
We remember the days of, look, we're going to go over these people's house. I need you to act like you got some sense.
Absolutely.
And that's all that needed to be said.
That's it.
But now you have kids, and it's not just, the funny thing is, because we used to talk about, oh, look at them, white folks don't know how to deal with their kids. But now we see little black kids at the mall, in the grocery store, throwing fits, telling their mama to shut up, and all this other stuff.
Right.
And so I'm gonna tell you this one. I'm not a fan of conspiracy theories, but there's one that I do kind of believe in. Now we go back a few years. Remember when it was the idea of we can no longer, when timeout was created.
Right.
It was no longer the idea of, well, you can't whoop your kids anymore, just put them on a timeout. And after a certain point, folks was like, a timeout? That's all I get is a timeout?
That's it?
Once again, there's no consequence. And then what happens after that? We get into a digital age where we're just leaving our kids in front of the TV. We're letting sitcoms and video games raise our children. And when they do something wrong, they don't have to experience consequences.
Well, we just talked about sitcoms, so we was raised by them too. So I think that's a little bit more.
Actually, I didn't mean to say sitcoms, because we was raised by sitcoms.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, we have to remember, though, in our age of growing up, sitcoms was really all you really had on TV.
Right.
And that didn't start until 8 o'clock.
True. So I think it's because so here we go. People follow us. We was just doing sitcom flashback. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You'll one day
you'll catch up. You'll be all right.
Yeah, you'll catch up. You know, I think just to kind of get to go where, just to put it in motion, timeout, again, to your point, Troy, timeout came when Black folks was really like trying to keep things together with their kids. Oh, we on the right path now, right? We doing this. Mm-hmm. Oh, hold on. You shouldn't beat them.
Nope.
Let's do timeout. So now we do timeout. Now everybody doing timeout. Now timeout ain't working. Now here we come. We moving in to the 2000s. What's the new thing? What's the new timeout? Restorative justice. You know, and like Shannon said, restorative justice ain't even equal across the board because the wrong people are getting it at the wrong times. Kind of like timeout was, you know. So again, I think, like I always say, every time we like get right there, they do the old Charlie Brown and Lucy, pull that shit right up under us. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he was trying to make a move, but now no. Timeout don't work. This don't work. Let's do restorative justice.
Because at the thing with the problem, hold on, the problem with timeout, it was one of those things where if you don't do it, we're gonna take it. Well, you hooked your kid, and that's unnecessary. Now we're gonna take your kids away and put them into the system.
Let's call CPS.
And now your kids are in the system, and then they're gone, and then they're lost. And what's the vicious circle? They end up at the end of the day, they end up in a SOAR program.
Right.
You know, so
and then money is spent to house them. Yeah. And now it becomes a cash flow. They're not getting parenting. They're getting a house. They're not getting no parenting. They're not getting no love. And then you wonder why. Right. And now you took them out their family because you wasn't happy that the black mom and the black dad wasn't utilizing timeout. Now you done took them out the house, and now you see the results of them, their actions right now, and now you want to blame them.
Yes, you know, and now it's their fault.
And now, and Troy, I don't know if we was the other day, but man, you really kind of struck a nerve with me. And I don't know if it was a video you shared or something, man, but it was like it was about when we was talking to Mr. Green, and he got out, and he didn't have his ID, and it basically kind of set him up for a bad situation. You know, that whole thing, man, that scenario. Because I hear it repeatedly from the extreme white folks. Again, if I say white folks, I'm not talking to you, the white folks that like me. I'm talking about the white folks who are like on the far edge of white folks.
Wait. We don't discriminate. You're talking to the ones that like you and the ones that don't like you, because the ones that like you, they would be the first ones to turn on you.
I'm talking to you all, but I'm really just trying to focus on this one particular group. So you get this one particular faction of white folks who say, oh, that black guy deserved to get his ass beat by the police. Really? That's your mindset that he deserves. But and they follow it up with, well, if you just obey, go all the way back. You took him out of a home that they was trying to teach him to obey. Yes. They was trying to teach him to obey by beating his ass. Yes. By beating his ass. You wasn't happy with that. You wanted time out. You wanted go stand in the corner by yourself. And that wasn't what you wanted. So you take him out of his environment with his mom and his dad. You put him in this system where he's grown to be agitated. He's grown to have some anger in him, some remorse, you know. And now his interactions with these people who want to do him harm, you walk up to the car with your hand on your gun. Why you got your hand on your gun? Hold on. You Shannon know I live in Vacaville. Been here since 2004. Never had any problems until one day we was in a house minding our business about 11 o'clock at night. I got family up. We minding our business. We ain't loud. We just us. Never had a problem in this particular neighborhood. Somebody, still don't know who, call Vacaville PD. 3 of them roll up to my house about 11:15 at night, maybe about 11:30. I open the door. He got his hand on his gun already.
Wow.
His boy is at my fence with his hand on his gun looking around my house. I didn't even say what's wrong. I said, why you got your hand on your gun?
First.
And this is his response. Oh, we got a report that there's minors drinking here. Bruh,
so only you got your hand on your gun?
For that? But first and foremost, ain't no minors here drinking. There was 2 minors in the house at the time. My sons, they was upstairs minding their damn business. So whoever called didn't know what the hell they was talking about, and they got in the bit, and then you can see how shit started. So I could have easily been the angry black man and refused to even talk to this motherfucker, and then they go all bad. So again, I say all of that to say, you can't have it both ways. Either you're gonna allow us to parent the way we want to parent, the way we know how, or you're gonna expect the worst consequences, the results.
The biggest
problem is the biggest problem with our whole system, and we already know it's systemic, is with our people not getting out voting. The people we have in our government, when we allow them, and we touched on our school just a little bit last time, but when it comes to our education system, our kids, and I hate to say it, fuck it, I gotta say, our kids are going to be dumb as fuck. This online crap, it is the most ridiculous thing ever. These kids are in class for a total of what, maybe 30 minutes communicating with classmates, and then that's it. They're done. What are they learning that they can't have a regular day? Oh, I forgot. It's not about them having a regular day. It's because the adults, which we call teachers, feel that they're overworked and stressed out. You know, matter of fact, and I hate to say it, but there was a Teacher of the Year award given because Vacaville is now teaching an ethnic studies course. And I will say it does piss me off because the person that's teaching the course, her only response to me was that she was in Germany. And she failed to realize that blacks were treated better in Germany. My whole problem with a person of non-African American descent teaching an ethnic studies course that deals with our race, you can never wake up and experience what we do every day on an average, or what we deal with in our households. So
hey, how Shannon, can you say you ain't never hate to say something. Let's put that out there as fact. You ain't never hate to say something.
Just get that out the way.
And two, I got teacher friends. I might lose them right here, but Teacher of the Year means absolutely crap diddly to me.
Fact. Yep. You know, the funny thing about what you're saying, Shannon, is what this lady doesn't understand. When you're in Germany, you're not white. I was watching something and they were talking about that. When you're in Germany, you're French or you're Italian. Oh, that Italian person over there. Mm-hmm. Or, you know, that Spanish person over there. Mm-hmm. When you're in the United States, or even they'll say, oh, you're that American over there. And no matter what the color of your skin is, you're just an American.
Yeah.
Only in the United States where we define people by the color of their skin. Because out here, and this is what a lot of people get mixed up on, you can be Italian, Jewish, German, you know, English, Russian, but you will be identified initially by the color of your skin.
Absolutely.
And the United States is the only place that does that. Everybody else, oh yeah, that ignorant German over there, or you know, there's a bunch of loud Italians over there, and they could all be. Hold on, let me just finish this. And they could be black. They could be black folk. There's black Italians. There's black Germans, right? Smitty's one of them. Matter of fact, you know. So there is.
Depending on how light your skin is, when you come to the United States, as we already know, if you have a shade of brown, you'll be considered Hispanic, which is wrong, because most Hispanics, they actually fit into a category to where, and I'll use this word, as my brother said, can code switch easily.
Yes.
And the reason what I mean, they can code switch, most of them can identify as being white and classify themselves. Yeah. In the United States, and everybody used to, you know what, even being in the military, I hear people, and it's mainly white patriots. And I don't know what the hell they patriots about. The hell with a flag. That flag don't mean nothing. You know, they sit back and they want to give honor and praise to this flag, when this country is only looked at between black and white.
Yeah, and we're new, and people don't know. People are. United States is like, it's still, as far as the world goes, the United States of America is still in an adolescent phase. We're not really grown up. We're a product of other countries.
I think it's important because now that you sparked that thought. In Africa, they only have so when you come to America, to your point, you got a whole category 2 pages long of, are you this? Are you that? Are you part of this? Are you some of that? What are you? You can pick multiple if you want. You can have other. What the hell is other?
I am
what
other.
Does other? Well, ain't that some despicable shit when you can put in a box and try to have someone identify themselves as other? Other. In Africa, they got like 4 or 5 categories. That's it.
And the funny thing about that is it's about your dialect.
Absolutely.
It's not about your race. They're just trying to figure out how we're gonna talk to you.
Bruh, are you Northern African? Are you Southern African?
You one of them West Coast dudes? What you doing?
Right. Are you Indian or West Indian? That's it.
That's it.
They ain't even tripping on your skin color because they could care less.
And you know how we fix it? And I know we normally save our solutions at the very end, which we got plenty of solutions. But the solution for this, to all them people out there that look at color and race, just stop. It's that simple. Just stop. Because at the end of the day, when you open us all up, we're all the same on the inside.
That's the most humanitarian thing I've ever heard you say. And I'm gonna have to hold you to that. That little sentiment that you just gave, that energy, I'm gonna hold you to that for the rest of our lives. You are the kumbaya dude of the group now.
Definitely a kumbaya.
Not the kumbaya.
That was. I just want to give you a hug at this point.
No, you don't.
See, and then it goes away. You said that we're all the same.
There's a lot of stuff that we experienced this week, and I gotta bring it up. I have to bring it up because one of my brothers was trying to catch Snowfall, which is a hell of a show. But we got a phone call, and I won't say from who. Or
how was that episode, by the way?
It was good.
Oh, yeah. I decided I'm gonna start watching it from the beginning.
You should. You have to. You can't just jump in midstream. You won't know it. You won't understand. Yeah. Yep. Other than the bass rocks, you won't understand.
I think, you know what, this week we've actually got our voice out there. We've made it known that we're going to state the truth and be factual with people. I think it's to a point to where people in positions of power, and this goes for all our politicians, they're all swimming with sharks. Every last one of them. You can't be the guppy in the room. If there's something you want to do, when you have this power, just do it. Don't talk about it. And honestly, I hear people say, well, and the comment bothers me because he said, I'm loyal. Be loyal to your damn self, because at the end of the day, you're trying to be loyal to everybody else. Them are the ones that's going to stab you in the back. You in a room full of sharks.
Pick your struggle? Is that where we're going with this?
Yeah.
And it is. Smitty loves that term. So, but it is. We have to understand. And once again, what brought all the three of us together is it's about the cause. Mm-hmm. If you take on certain positions, if you decide on, and I think this is where people get mixed up. Your position that you fight for so hard for, whether it's being, a politician, whether it's at your job, or whatever it is, that position doesn't just come with a better parking space and a higher paycheck. It comes with responsibilities. Mm-hmm. And especially when you're in the community, those responsibilities are heavy. You see why some people leave a job and go get something simpler, or you see why they hold elections and it's such a fight, because the responsibilities that they don't tell you about is what really that your position is about. But if you take the time out and say, you know what, it's okay because I'm about the cause, this position helps me with the cause.
Right.
Not the other way around. And you don't go for just a position, because that's when you get labeled as just another politician, or he's just going to be another manager that, is here not doing nothing.
Right.
But it's that responsibility stuff, because
and so
they have your job responsibilities, but they ain't all of them.
I think it's kind of, maybe let's just touch on real quick, is if you guys haven't known, if you don't know and you haven't seen, good brother Shannon invited me to speak on code switching. So if you don't know about code switching, the actual definition is basically going from one language to another. All right. But if you dig a little bit deeper, it's how you position yourself, especially if you're a person of color, Black, especially. But other minorities have to play this game as well. So you come up one way, and you got your own little how you dress, how you talk, how you interact, and then once you get into this corporate game or this work game, you really can't be Jenny from the block with a nose ring. You know what I'm saying? And a half cut shirt, or however you rock your braids, or whatever the case. And you might have to change your language a little bit, or how you talk, right? So if you ain't really even understanding that before you get into politics, you got a problem.
You got a problem.
Now, is it right or is it wrong? That's not for me to answer, but that's just the facts of what we're dealing with. And I think just to elaborate on what Shannon was saying about just not this particular person, but just anybody really who's kind of new to politics. If you spent your whole last year or two running for this position because you want to make a change, if you really thought that your first month in wasn't going to be a challenge, and your eyes wasn't going to be woke to something, you wasn't prepared. You didn't know what you was getting into. You going into an environment where people have been doing whatever they want. And this is another thing. You get into politics, don't think there's a right way, and don't think that all these other folks and these other white Americans. Hold on, let me interject before we go any further. From now on, because it's been on my mind all week, like Shannon said, we've been through a lot. From now on, I'm calling white Americans, because that's just some microaggression racist shit right there. When you can call a Black American or a Mexican American or an Asian American, and you're just an American just because you're white, yeah, take that, sit on it. So from now on, it's white Americans, because I'm gonna segregate your ass too. So to think that white Americans know exactly what they're doing just because they're in a position of power, don't take that. Look at your President 45. He wasn't a politician. He never served on any political board in his entire life. Look at Cuomo. Cuomo had the faith of the world. He was loved. Now look at him, trying to fill up a young girl's skirt. You know what I'm saying? Don't think these white Americans who hold office know what they're doing or know what they're talking about.
Hold on. No, real quick, because I don't want to forget this point. Because and we're not mentioning this person's name, because I do like
this. Stop saying we're not going to mention this person's name now.
But you know what? But there is one person I am going to mention, because ever since we got on him and tried to put the facts out there, he's only been posting Bible verses.
First of all, Lee, I'm not with you on this one. Go ahead.
He's only been what?
No, I'm done. I'm not with. No, you go ahead. Oh, you were so ridiculous, Shannon. Go ahead, man.
Hey, that's petty.
Right? No, we're gonna move on from that one. I was gonna go back to what Smitty was saying about white Americans. Stop. About your white Americans, because you have to think about that one, because the only ones who are, if we're going to call this America, are the only ones who can just be called Americans are natives.
Right. But no, because they was here before America. So
see, that's what I'm saying. But so if we're still gonna call this, if we're gonna call this land that we're on, we can actually have, and we're gonna call. So if we're in French, we don't call them, the French.
Right.
I'm sorry, if we're in France, we don't call them the French Francis. You know what I mean? That's not how that goes.
We don't call them a Moscowian Russian. We don't do that.
You don't do that. It just doesn't make any sense.
We don't do that.
But we can say
that. And if you get called out, you don't go posting Bible verses.
Right.
Shannon, stop
you take
petty.
Accountability.
Shannon, stop being petty.
I'm not being petty.
We don't win.
I'm just saying.
We don't win off the rails, man.
A little bit.
We did.
Can we bring it back?
And it's not even being petty. It was stating facts. This person ain't never posted. This person ain't never posted a Bible verse all while they were running. But as soon as something comes out, they go to posting Bible verses. I get like 3 or 4 of them a week.
So look, I'm staying on course because I'm not going to let Shannon be the one man to bring the submarine to the bottom of the Pacific.
Man, not at all.
All right, I'm going Periscope. We're going to Periscope level. Oh my God! So we can miss some of the
I can't with y'all right now. Oh my God, you're killing me.
So look. Here's some of the problem to keep it where Shannon was talking about where folks get in the office. Okay, yes. You can't spend all your energy getting somewhere, and then when you get there, act like you don't know what the hell you want to do. You know what you want to do. Stick to the agenda and get it done.
I think some of the politicians who run should be pre-qualified.
I don't even think it's.
Then we wouldn't have any. Then we wouldn't have any. We would have no politicians if they had
nobody running.
Right, and I don't think they should be pre-qualified. I think what it boils down to, when they get in there, they need not worry about getting them reelected. You in there because the people voted you in to do a job. Do your job, and if you don't get reelected, so be it. Get the hell out of the way. Let somebody else.
And you guys are city. As a matter of fact, there was a race. We're going to talk about Vacaville. We'll talk about Fairfield. Lady who's been on our show, Doris.
Yep.
She got elected. So there was a dude who was running against her that nobody knew about, who had no clue. He had no platform. He had no nothing. But yet and still, in our democracy, he was allowed to put his name on the ballot and try to get elected and bless his heart. Bless his heart.
He meant well.
He did. His heart was in the right place, but he looked stupid because it was just something to do, and that's offensive to. At least that's offensive to me. I mean, if you're gonna run, at least be somebody who's going to have a platform of something, or no.
Is that goes back to when Eddie Murphy made the joke about Jesse Jackson running. You get drunk white folks at the polls talk about, oh shit, I'm gonna vote for him, and you do, but then you really take away from the people that probably have a legitimacy and actually some understanding to the best of their knowledge of yes. trying to do this particular job. Yes. So I think it cuts both ways.
It does, and actually I'm gonna start hurting people's feelings. And
you can go to Hymietown.
Go to Hymietown. What?
This is one of them shows tonight, boy. This is one of them shows tonight. I'm sure there's going to be plenty.
When he mentioned Eddie Murphy and Jesse Jackson, Eddie Murphy, I remember that. Eddie Murphy said you can go to Hymietown.
That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Well, again, it looks like the good brother Troy has been befuddled.
Shannon's just on fire. The boy's fuego right now.
I'm telling you, y'all don't understand. So again, to the point.
There was a point to this?
It was a point.
Okay.
And my point is this, because it all ties together about you get in there and then you get lost. You're overwhelmed, and mm-hmm. you're a guppy in the Shark Tank. But see, here's the problem. You think you're a guppy and you think they're sharks. That's the problem. That's the problem. They're not sharks. No. They just know how to maneuver around the water and create this shadow to make it look like they're bigger than what they are. You know,
and the first one that comes around and tells you to put your hand in my pocket and come on. That's what you do.
Right. Yeah. Come on. Let me show you.
You know what? While we're talking to the community needs to also be aware that a lot of these elected officials, they really don't know what to do. And sometimes you have to guide them. And in guiding them, you have to use your voice. We see there's so many issues. No, we're not going to be able to address every single issue, but there are important issues. One important issue, which I know all three of us don't agree with, is how the county has stepped in and somebody made a policy somewhere without talking to community members, our homeless people, and mainly our Black citizens and Latino citizens. If police feel that they are a threat, they can call the paramedics in to give them an injection to calm them down.
Right.
Who says these people are combative to begin with? And what makes you know that you having this authority to inject them with something isn't going to trigger something else?
I don't even know how that can be morally decent or legal to inject something into somebody just because somebody said, hey, inject them.
Yeah. Well,
that sounds like some Tuskegee Project shit right there.
It does. We'll just see what happens later.
Yeah, but don't worry.
The problem with that, the biggest problem that people really need to understand it, because it was sold as, this is going to way to help control and keep our police officers safe. Is it though? Because most of the time, I would just say 99.9% of the time, these people are unarmed. Some of them, and we've seen the problem with this was the young man in Colorado who happened to have autism, but the police just said he wasn't being cooperative. But it's like, you don't understand the difference. Once again,
hey Troy, let me ask you this question. Because you made the comment that a lot of these things are put in place to keep law enforcement officers safe.
Facts.
What? Keeping them safe from what?
Hold on, that's what I was getting at. Because let's just say this. I'm 6'1", about 245. I still don't stand up to
eating ice cream.
And eating ice cream. I still don't stand up to the guy who's 6'1", 245 with a bulletproof vest, a gun, a taser, a baton, handcuffs, a radio, and partners.
In a justice system.
I'm not, and a justice system that's built against me.
Live studio audience.
Yes, thank you. But so, and the other part of that is, how many lawsuits y'all gonna get when one of these people die who have an allergic reaction to this stuff you're shooting them up with?
Absolutely.
But you know what? You just said it. They're gonna argue what they always argue. I fear for my safety.
I fear for my safety.
Yeah, and this is my whole thing with our law enforcement. They always want to talk about how hard the job is, how difficult. Don't become a cop then. This is what you signed up to get paid for. And then if you go, this is my problem with society. Society has got dumbfounded somehow when they look at, this police officer is a hero because they stopped a bank robbery. No, that's their damn job. Yeah. They've been trained to do this. This is what they get paid to do. They're not a hero. If they want to be a hero to me, a hero is one of my brothers here saving somebody's life.
Somebody out of a building. I'm gonna give you the scenario.
I want to say this. You want to impress me, motherfucker? Drive. Eddie Murphy joke.
There you go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna give you this because this came to me about a police officer fearing for his life. Now, say for instance, three of us are out somewhere. I get approached by this dude who all of a sudden want to fight me, but I all of a sudden fear for my life. Now, the problem with that is I got you two with me. I shouldn't have to fear for my life against this one dude, right? Because if I do, I'm not hanging out with y'all no more.
Absolutely.
We ain't cool and not as cool as I thought I was.
And vice versa. And vice versa.
And vice versa. So, and so when a police officer says, well, I was in fear for my life. He was overly, I didn't wait. Because most times you got backup. So let me get this straight. You're with an unarmed man, you're weaponized from head to toe, and you have backup, but you still feel threatened? Maybe this is not the job for you. Or maybe you need to hang out with some different people.
Right.
Because that's what they always, and you're right, Shannon, that's what they say.
Well, no, before they say that, they say, this is an open investigation, and this is the last we're going to talk about it. And that goes on forever, and then we hear nothing in this person. You know, and we as a society, this is not just Black folks, this is everybody as society. We just go along with it. Okay. All right. You know, and we don't do nothing and we don't speak up. And then I just want to circle back about speaking up, and then what Shannon said about just people speaking up and saying something, and we got so dumbfounded. You know, probably since the beginning of the school year in August, all you hear is people complaining. We need to be back in school. My kid's eyes is burning his retina because he got to learn virtual learning. You know, side note, they probably play Xbox all night long, but nevertheless,
or something on their phone. I mean, but no. But go
ahead. You know, my kid, we're not gonna learn. We're not gonna learn because.
But wait a minute. These were all the same people. These were all the same people that I recall sitting in a school board meeting with no mask on during the pandemic.
Hold on. I want to say this. This is what really stoked my fire this week and kind of really pissed me off to the highest level of festivity. Thursday night, Vacaville Unified School District had a board meeting, and they was talking about reopening. Not one Black parent showed up or spoke up.
That's a problem.
Anything. That's a problem. That's a problem. I'm gonna tell you who showed up. Mainly white American mothers. That's who showed up. And they was talking about their. Hold on. And they was mainly talking about their special ed students.
Okay.
The reason I say that is important is because we have to understand in this society, in our educational system, not just here in California, but the United States. Little Black boys and little Black girls get segregated in kindergarten and first grade because they don't behave. They don't behave the way white Americans want them to. And so before second grade, they're given this status, this stigma that now they're in an IEP class, they're in a special day class, they're in a special ed because they don't conform. They don't know how to perfectly utilize code switching yet, you see? And now that they're there, when we need to come up and speak for our kids, we don't. We just say, oh, they're not going to participate. So we just let them fall further behind.
Oh, yeah.
Again, that's my biggest pet peeve that I took away from this week. If we're going to talk, if you're going to march, if you're going to take your ass outside and march because your car got towed or because some Black person got shot, then damn it, take your ass outside and march or make a phone call to the school board and say, I'm sticking up for my kid.
Bastard, show up.
Show up.
You know what? Speak out. Because here's what I got this week, and I'm glad you brought that up. I was working. I was at work. I get a call from my son. Hey, my teacher keeps saying that you got to let him know if I'm coming back to school. I'm gonna tell you this. I don't have a problem taking care of my son. This is not babysitting. This is me doing what I need to do to raise my son. And all you parents out there that's acting like these teachers are babysitters so you can have a few minutes and quote unquote white American society to have a glass of wine while your kid is at school so you can not do shit anyway. You need to get over it.
Yeah. Right.
Honestly.
Now, and that's what that's matter of fact, this is the accountability part. We've gotten on organizations and that's, but also we've made sure people, average everyday American citizens. I love the way my brother Smitty put that. And Shannon, I love that. We ain't babysitting. We taking care of our kids. There's a difference. But if you can get up and go protest, if you got kids or not, I'm sorry, I'm just going to take that out. If you can get up and protest, especially in Vacaville, they have protests every Sunday. Why aren't you going to the city council meetings? Why aren't you going to the school board meetings? Raising ruckus there. This is one of the things why I have to applaud our brother Cameron in Fairfield, because he was doing both. Fairfield was showing y'all how to actually put in change, how to get change done. And it's not just about sitting and yelling on Sundays. That's just thinking you're going to go to heaven by going to church on Easter.
Right? That one time.
You're cool. No. Change doesn't come from standing on the street corner.
Wearing that same old suit for the past 5 years.
Yeah, facts. It doesn't come from just standing on the street corner yelling. That's the start. You have to be willing to continue the process.
And again, I know we touched on this before, because I think somebody strategically placed city council meetings, school board meetings, all of these meetings at times when we can't access them, but the fact remains, we got to find some way to get there. The county, the supervisors for the county, we need to go to those meetings. I've been there. There's no one there. I can tell you right now. I can tell you right now. You show up on Tuesday to the county supervisors board meeting in Fairfield downtown. There's going to be one old guy, right? He got gray hair. That dude probably been there since the county started. He's the only person that's there. These people are making decisions about their county.
Yeah, but think about
hold on. The count, isn't it like at something in the morning?
9 a.m. in the morning.
When the majority of people are at work.
That's just sneaky.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we're open to the public to come down, and that's all we have. No.
And again, I'm not knocking you, because you know what? In all fairness, a mom did stand up last night, and she said, you know what? I'm petrified to speak in public speaking, but I'm doing this for my daughter. I'm doing this for my daughter because she has IEP. Come on, man. I mean,
standing up. Hold on. And this is the other thing that the pandemic has brought in us. Most of them you can still go virtual.
Spell Broughton.
Broughton, don't mess with me. You said what Mitzi word did you use earlier?
Don't worry about me, bro.
Pistivity.
What, pistivity? Yeah, pistivity.
Pistivity, that's the word.
We're at a point where we can still be involved with minimal effort.
No, and that's a great point, Troy, because I want to double down on that to take it a little bit further. How important we are, man, Troy. Why we still have a chance to be involved. Why we still have a chance.
A chance, yes.
All right.
Because they're gonna be open, but they're gonna be closed.
Hey, because let a vaccine had not come out, they'd have shut down via Zoom meetings to participate in city council meetings. Because Fairfield was already doing it.
Yes.
So while you still have a chance, you better start speaking up, because they might pull the rug from under us again. Like I always say, right when we get there, here come Charlie Brown and Lucy.
So that ball gonna go away.
Man, you right now take advantage of it. Take advantage of it.
It's a thing.
Well, you know what? Here's the problem. So for everybody, honestly, and I don't wish nothing bad on anybody, but here's what I don't want to happen.
I'm sorry.
Because they're still trying to figure out this pandemic thing. And yeah, people are taking vaccinations, but that's still not a guarantee. You guys are running over here, wanting the schools to reopen. When your kid catch COVID or something, don't try and file a lawsuit. Deal with it.
Facts. No.
Oh yeah. I want to say this one, because I think this is just the most asinine, hilarious shit that speaks to our society as a whole. Crosses ethnic lines, crosses money. This is just society as a whole. You got parents around this country protesting because they want their kids to play sports.
Whoa.
They ain't protesting to get their ass back in class. They worried about them playing sports. I heard one young man say, and it wasn't even in this area, but he was on the news, and he said, "This is my whole life is to play football."
Wow.
Really?
I'm so sorry. You need. Find out who that. We're gonna call CPS.
Bruh, it just blows my mind that parents put sports before their child's education and well-being in however order you want to put it in.
And
keep in mind the race. Keep in mind the race. We are seeing how dumbfounded this nation really is when over and all in all, what's America's pastime sport?
Baseball.
Baseball.
Tread lightly.
What if they tread lightly my ass? What if they reopened up?
It's baseball.
Oh no.
Whoa. Hold on.
No.
Go ahead, Smith.
They opened up NASCAR first. They opened
yes,
up
they
NASCAR first, and old girl from Fox was like, "That's typical."
Hey, you can't catch COVID driving.
COVID ain't that quick. Now,
do you remember when President 45 led the first lap in the Beast around the track?
Yeah.
And it was like, "Oh my God, look at this! This is America. This is America.
That is America.
Okay.
Wait, Brother Troy, we heard it yesterday. What did he say? And it kind of had a good ring to it. He said, "We in a damn pandemic now." Go see if your MAGA hats and caps and T-shirts can correct that.
But no. Hold on. No, he said your cheap ass MAGA hats.
Yeah, that he did say.
I just want to put that up. Just make sure you get quoted right, bro.
That too.
Yeah.
Cheap ass. So, man said. Okay, I'm glad you left. You know, you can't mess with baseball right now. It's just a thing.
Touchy.
You know what?
Touchy.
You know what?
But hold on. But I'm gonna tell you this. When it comes to sports, especially high school sports, that is one thing where we can see the pendulum swing to a set of ridiculous white Americans.
Absolutely.
Just
absolutely
blow me away every time when you start bringing in sports and you get, and not so much, it's bad out here in California, but when you get into that Bible Belt,
yes.
Oh my, it's God, then football.
Yeah, in that order.
Yeah.
In that order.
Then family.
Right. And then my wife.
Then my wife.
After my dog and my tractor.
Because she can't get a scholarship.
Exactly.
You know what? One thing that we do have to let our viewers know is that because we touch on so many different subjects, that even tonight's show, I gotta say, has been sitcoms, racism, and city council members. We've been around.
Well,
the one thing.
Go ahead.
The one thing I don't want our viewers to ever stop doing right now, I don't want them to forget. Last week's show was a rough show, and I don't want them to forget them names because they're still not being mentioned. Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery. I don't want them forgetting them names. I want them ingrained because just because it's not in the news, these people have families. And in one way, we're all related.
Everything
and
comes
these
back
same
to a black
problems
woman.
that we had, these same problems that we had with Nixon and everybody else has been in that office are still continuing on. And it's time for this stuff to change.
So you absolutely right. Tamir Rice, that man would be what, 17, 18 now?
Yeah.
Again, Trayvon Martin, and the thing is, I was going back. I'm reading 2 books right now. Slowly, it's taking me some time, but actually I'm reading 3. I got Native Son jumping off, which is incredible. If you ain't read it, you should get on it. My wife actually stole the other book, Brown Girl Dreaming, which is phenomenal. And then I also went back and I started reading again, Rolling Thunder, Hear My Cry. If you ain't read that book, man, check it out, because things haven't changed from what they went through. And I say all of that to say this, because I've been hearing a lot lately with this whole, what side of the fence you fall on with this whole COVID thing.
Excuse me, Smitty. Smitty. Shannon, what are we doing?
He's all right.
You okay?
Yeah. He's fact checking.
Okay.
There we go.
Whew.
We're back, people. Don't worry.
Wow.
Don't worry. We're good. And I think, unfortunately, the powers that be, again, I know Troy mentioned it earlier, I'm not a big conspiracy theory guy, but sometimes I look at things and go, wow, really? That doesn't make too much sense. But from the beginning, unfortunately, politicians made this pandemic a political issue. Either you're on this side or you're on that side, instead of making it a health issue for human beings. And that's where the problem lies. So now what's crazy is how you hear religion come into effect. I heard a person on the news the other day say, well, if God wants me to die, then I'm just going to catch it. That's why I'm not wearing no mask. What? Again, I lose focus when I hear things like that. I'm like, how asinine can that be? And for Black folks, and for Black folks, this is what kills me. I just try to put things out there. I'm not a racist. At least I don't think I am. But if you're just being stupid, then you're just being stupid. Christianity was put on Black folks so you could learn the code switch. I keep going back to code switching because that's what we're all about. We're trying to play this game. We're trying to fit in. These white Americans put Christianity into Black folks' lives.
So I'm sorry, Shannon, put the book down.
So exactly, Shannon. So you can think like them, so you can act like them, so you can conform to them, and then you can be accepted by them. Unfortunately, and I don't put my religion on nobody, but I just can't understand that process that you could believe this and then just walk out there and say, oh yeah, I want my son to play football, but I'm not going to put no emphasis on his education.
Yeah, facts.
I'm lost.
Now, and that's the problem, because yes, I did talk about the Bible Belt before, but along with that is a large population of Black folks who, on a day-to-day basis, only put the way out the hood is with a microphone and a ball.
Right.
As if that's all we're about. But then have the utter audacity to complain about racism.
Mm-hmm.
Well, once you belittle yourselves, who cares what somebody calls you? If you're not trying to achieve more than the sum of a damn basketball, and looking at your family as, well, if we got to help Nook get him to practice because that's the only way we're going to get up out of here, you've already lost. Because what if that don't happen?
Hey, bro, y'all know I coach football. I coach sports, bro. I can tell you straight up, I've seen Black parents drop their kids off at football practice in the dark, cut tough, and then coaches got to sit out there till 8:30, 9 o'clock, wait for them to show up. Right?
You got something about, like Shannon said, it ain't babysitting.
It ain't babysitting, right? And so now I'm gonna tell you straight up, factual story. I did not know some of my moms and some of my dads because they did not show up. Our organization threw a grown folks party for 3 individuals one year on a Saturday night. Bruh, every mama that could put a short skirt on with her ass hanging out and some heels came out. I ain't never seen them at a game. I ain't never seen them at practice. They ain't never volunteered to work the gate. They ain't never volunteered to bring snacks for lunch or halftime. Come on, man, we gotta do better than that, bro.
Way better. And it's easy. Sorry. And it's easy to do better.
It's easy.
It's easy. You just gotta. It's
easy.
It's showing up.
Man.
Even with me, and I'll admit this, I didn't make all the practices, and I missed some of the games, but I tried to make every one that I could. I had a kid come up to me a few years ago and say, "Hey, don't I know you?" I was like, I don't think so. And he was a young cat. I was like, well, you probably know one of my sons, from football. He was like, oh yeah, I remember you because you were always there at their games. You were there for this. You was there. You was always around. Now, if I can do it with the situation that I have, you can't do it when your kids live with you.
Right. Let me say, you know what? Let me hurt some feelings. Let me. I'm gonna pull a Shannon. I'm gonna pull a Shannon. I hate to say this.
I don't want to say this.
I don't want to say this.
I never wish bad on nobody.
I don't want. Yeah. Let me tell you something.
Sideways lie.
I ain't never trying to hear no parent say, I can't do that. Bruh, my daughter, when she was little, lived an hour and a half away from me. An hour and a half. I would get up and go get her on Friday night. That's a 3-hour trip on Friday night. Only to have to turn her around on Sunday and do the exact same thing.
Exact same thing.
And then the following weekend, when it ain't my weekend, she's playing travel soccer. Her first soccer game is 4 hours away.
Please.
You know I'm there. And then it's all day soccer. So I don't leave there till about 8 at night. And then I got to drive 4 hours back. Man,
Please.
Don't ever tell me
you can't make something.
You can't make something.
I can't tell you. When Tiffany and I first got married, I cannot tell you on a Saturday during football season how many counties we had to touch.
Right.
Counties. Not cities. Counties.
Yes.
We touched on most Saturdays.
Yeah. Not 8 hotel rooms, bro. I again, now I hate to say it, but no one told you to make this child. No one told you. But now it's not the child's fault. So you just can't lay up and do nothing and then expect everybody else to do it for you. First and foremost, I could really care less about sports, to be honest with you, even though I love sports, don't get me wrong. But it's about education. If you can't get if you can't get up and take your child to school or put them on the bus, or right now, hell, they ain't even got to leave the house right now. They just got to pop on the computer. You know,
you just got to wake up and make sure they open and turn it on.
That's it.
Check on the one in school. And y'all know Madison still goes. We still make sure Madison goes to her stuff on Tuesdays and Thursdays, all the way in Vacaville. It's completely inconvenient, but you know what? That's what she wants to do.
Absolutely.
That's what we signed up for.
Absolutely.
That's just how it is.
Hey, bro, it was days when my wife went one way to one game.
You went
to go another way. Go to another game.
Please.
So again, I don't want to hear that. I wish we put that emphasis and that energy into education.
Right? Fact.
Because
that's the long haul. Me and Shannon went through. We had the AIDS to Men conferences over the last couple of days.
I seen that,
and there was thousands, and I'm not I'm completely underestimating when I say thousands, because we don't know how many there were, of Black men educated who told their stories of coming from nothing, who told their stories of, I had to do this and that. We didn't have this and this, but my mom and dad, or my mom or my dad, made sure education came first because they understood that's the long race.
Exactly.
You know what?
It's not about with a damn ball. If you don't get educated, I mean, how many stories do we have to continuously go by where
Charles Shackelford?
He was facts. He was in the middle. Yeah, he was in the middle. He was almost getting ready to get drafted, but he blew out his knee, lost his scholarship, and now he's strung out.
Yeah.
Or he just got arrested.
You know what? And my thing is this, and this goes to all my brothers and sisters out there. If you have kids and your kids fail because you're not partaking in their education, don't blame that damn school system. Blame yourself. Hold your own self accountable, because in all actuality, as a parent, you need to go over and beyond when it comes to teaching your child in this day and age, because that school is not going to give them what they need.
I want to say this now. I want to say this. I hate to say it, but y'all know what I do. Y'all know what I provide mentors. I provide tutoring for young folks. I want to tell you something that's very important. If you think I'm lying, I just be up here talking. I've been doing this for a year. For a year, I've asked people, "Hey, can you help me with this? I want to see a Black teacher help this young Black child." Mm-hmm. I've got one gentleman, and Shannon knows who he is. I got one gentleman to help me, and I got one white lady to help me, and the white lady be there faithfully. She do it on her own because she loved to. I can't get nobody to help me. I can't find one Black teacher in any subject to help me, all right? Then I want to say this. I've been offering free math tutoring for a year. I can't get one mama or daddy Black to put their child in free tutoring. I can't get them. I'm offering it on all my social media platforms. I talk about it when I'm out. Oh no, we got something to do this weekend. Really?
We got 10,000. We got 10,000. Wait a minute.
Hold on. You go to Sylvan. You go to all of these other places that give you that charge tutoring. You talking racks, bruh. You talking racks. I got calculus teachers that's willing to tutor you for free, and you trying to turn your back on it. So what I did, I got smart. Now I offer it on Monday and Tuesday, or Monday and Thursday evenings. You know how many Black people show up? None. I got 3 sessions: Monday, Thursday, Saturday. I got one Black kid in there on Saturday. That's it. I've been giving it for free. So don't, like Shannon said, you want to blame somebody about your child getting F's and D's? Don't blame us. Mm-mm. Don't blame the school district.
Yeah, don't. You have nobody to hold accountable but your own damn self.
Especially when you know that there's services out there. Because if it comes to your child, you will look and find whatever it is that you need to find.
Let me hold a football camp.
Or at least you should.
Let me hold a football camp.
A free one. See how many
little, yeah. And this goes out to all the races. And we spoke about this on a couple of occasions. So parents don't really pay attention. Most parents don't. There's some parents out there that do look at the state standardized testing report.
Yeah, my wife was one of them.
Because of this pandemic, right? Because of this pandemic, our children, and we say our children are our future. I honestly don't want to be here if this is the future I got to deal with. Because I'm telling you, they don't know A from B, and it's bad.
It's
and the reason, and because parents would rather sit at home. Well, they're doing online. That's for their teaching. No, it's for you to get up and be in that school board's ass, make these teachers do their job and teach. If adults can go to college online and learn, these kids can too. They're no different.
No different. And
your kid can learn Minecraft and Call of Duty online. They can't learn math online or English. Man, come on, man. He can't go both ways. You can't.
All right, folks.
Yep. So,
hey, that last segment
hold on.
Was for every white American who thinks we just bash white Americans. We just went bad.
We went bad on Black folks for like 20 minutes.
Okay.
And more than likely, and I'm gonna be honest with you, whenever, because I'll say it a lot, whenever I yell at folks to get involved, I'm speaking to Black folks.
Mm-hmm.
And next week I'm gonna speak about the Black churches we got here. That ain't about crap. Because they ain't in the community.
I thought you did earlier.
So did I, but okay. Yeah.
So
I have a quick question. I have a quick question, completely out of nowhere, but this has been messing with me. What is the difference between homeless and houseless? Any?
You know what? I remember who mentioned that. And you know what? He kept saying the houseless. And I'll tell you what the houseless is. Because the only logical answer, you just don't have a house. So you're without a house.
Well, and I asked
hold on. I want to answer. Go ahead. To me, because I've heard these two different words. To me, when you say homeless, you're saying someone who doesn't own a home.
Okay.
So it's easy to say someone is a pathetic piece of crap because they don't own a house.
Got you.
Right? But when you say houseless, now you're talking somebody different, because you don't have, even renters fall under houseless.
Got you. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And I wasn't asking it. It's something that has honestly been bothering me because people like to give things different names.
I hear you.
And I've been trying to figure out why you're going to give that a different name. All right, people, here we go.
Well, here we go. And
let me ask 30 seconds?
Yeah, like 30-second solution. And I just got one question to pop out there.
Go ahead.
Since we're all tired of the word equity.
Oh, Jesus.
And people being equitable.
Uh-huh.
My question for you, Troy.
Oh, okay.
How do we eliminate the word equity and get people to wake up and see the truth?
Stop being stupid and just do the opposite. Quit playing with words.
Exactly.
Quit playing with words. We don't need a word to describe the unfairness that the minority communities have been facing for decades. Stop bringing up words because I'm gonna tell you, because that, see, you knew that word was gonna bother me. That word is reason why the homeless and houseless thing was bothering me, because it seemed like it was just something else that somebody had came up with in order to justify a situation. When folks start mentioning equity, it's a matter of, okay, what do you mean? Because if you know the meaning of that word, then you know the difference. And if you know the difference, just do the opposite of what you're doing and stop playing. It's not hard. If you have if you have unequitable hiring practice, then change it. If you have unequitable treatment from the police, hold them accountable and change it. It's not hard. It's only hard when you want to actually, what was it? If you want racism to change, you have to want racism to change. If you want things to be equitable, then stop being unequitable. It's a simple thing. It's not complicated. Maybe the paperwork that you have to file, maybe the people that you have to check, maybe the ideas of Black people actually are responsible citizens in this world would have to change in your mind, but you can do it. It's not hard.
Can I answer?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Stop judging people.
Listen to the Germans. You ain't a white. I'm not a Black American, or I'm just an American.
That's it.
Facts. You know what? We're gonna end on that. Thank you, Shannon.
Yeah. Hey, not a problem. And
folks,
I'm gonna wake up everybody and tell everybody, just do it. Just get out there and do it. You've been focused. Yeah. You've had a challenge placed at you, and I know my brother Smitty is constantly going at it with the challenge. Just do it. Make this year a year of completion. Get your ass out there. Get up. Do what you want to do.
Thank you for the challenge too, Smitty.
Yeah. Hey,
everybody.
I got to come to the solution. I'm not doing a solution, but I'm going to acknowledge. Shannon said, "Do something with your life." He said, "Complete something." I got something in the projects. It's in the projects too.
I see what you did.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. Always gonna catch something different from us. Believe that. Thank you again, everybody, for hanging out with us. Again on the third show. I want to thank my brother Shannon, brother Smitty, sister Beatrice, who we didn't get a chance to shout out to earlier, but she's always here, even though she ain't here. But we'll make sure you guys like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and YouTube. I think we should probably, I don't know, should we get a Twitter? But I'm scared of what Shannon gonna tweet at 11 o'clock at night.
And this was filmed in front of a live studio
audience.
Live studio audience.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out with us as always. Oh, mind you, here it is. We're going to do a Facebook Live.
Oh, that's right.
It's coming soon. We try to figure out when we're gonna actually do it, but we're going to do a Facebook Live. Now,
and we're going to be out in the public somewhere.
Oh, facts. Oh, this got hot. This just got hot.
Real quick. Real quick.
That just turned up a little bit. All right, I see what you're doing, Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned for that. And when y'all want to come hang out and ask your questions, we may even go ahead and just do a live studio audience.
Mm-hmm.
So beware, be prepared, and look out for us because it's going to be fun. Thank y'all for hanging out. Y'all have a good night.
All right.
Peace.